Guys, after subscribing to this channel, please make sure that you also press the bell icon so that no notification, no new video of mine, any educational video, is missed by anybody.
Okay. So I welcome once and all everybody for this class tonight, and this is going to be our last paper, paper number 3. And we'll be discussing about this DNB diploma paper, paper number 3, as I saw that this is like, a little different from what it was in paper number 1 and 2. It was slightly more tricky, slightly more advanced. The questions that were asked were more about recent advances. Now, when this kind of question comes, okay, this is about etiopathogenesis of tuberculosis. I'll just blow up for everybody to see, and then I'll put it back in the place. So here, what they're trying to say is that how does this TB start? So first of all, what happens that the infection, it occurs when a person inhales the droplet nuclei, okay, containing the tubercle bacilli, and they reach the alveoli of the lung. This is how it happens. See, this is a very, very basic question. I would say this is an undergraduate level question, but since it was the first question asked, you have to make an impression, right? So what better impression than writing like this? Okay, see, what happens is examiner loves to see flowcharts and algorithms and something which makes it easy for them to understand whether you know the answer or you don't know the answer. As simple as that. So I'm just trying to make this answer. This also, see, this is not a very what do I say, a lot of effort did not go into making this answer, because this is a very, very basic concept of your undergraduate level, and I do expect everybody to already know this, but how to present it is what I'm trying to tell you. So what happens is that the infection, when it occurs when a person inhales the droplet nuclei, okay, and they reach the alveoli of the lung. So then these tubercle bacilli are then ingested by the alveolar macrophages, which is very much expected. Whenever a new infection gets inside the body, the defense mechanism starts to ingest it, which is the local macrophages. The earliest phase of the primary tuberculosis, that happens in the first 3 weeks, is a small number of bacilli. They might start multiplying intracellularly, and they're released when the macrophages die. Correct? So they're not totally dead by the macrophages. They'll undergo a little dormant stage, and then they start multiplying again. If alive, these bacilli, they may spread by the way of lymphatic channels to distant tissues, and they start multiplying there. So you must have heard about, this TB of, bone and your peritoneum, pelvic TB and stuff. Then we have a mounting of the cell-mediated immunity, CMI. This occurs 3 weeks after the exposure. So the T cell mediated macrophages, they get activated, okay, and they start killing these bacilli. And here is when the granuloma, the famous granuloma of the TB starts forming, because here, in addition to stimulating the macrophages to kill the mycobacteria, the T cell response orchestrates the formation of granulomas, and then the caseous necrosis takes in place, and then you have the proper granuloma formed against these dividing bacilli. This is how the granulomas are formed. This is how the etiopathogenesis of genital TB starts taking place. And this is not a genital TB. Anywhere this TB goes, this is where we just discussed over here, that wherever the tubercle bacilli are going into any distant space, this is what happens over there. The T cell mediated immunity starts, mounting a response and starts killing the bacteria, and also start forming a granuloma on the way. All right. Then there was asked the new ART Act. See, they love to ask the DNB people, especially in the last paper. They love to ask you about the acts, the bills, and everything. So the ART Act, I am very sure that this question is going to come even henceforth in future. So be prepared with this answer. The ART, and you will not get this answer so beautiful anywhere. You keep reading the ART Act, I think 10,000 times you'll not be able to write down an answer. And as orchestrated as this answer is, as very well organized as this answer is, because I've just touched upon the most important aspects, and even they are very difficult to register in your mind. So anyways, ART was, the ART and surrogacy bill, actually they were started, they came in together. They've been passed by the parliament in December 2021, and they were gazetted in 25th January 22. So it was our new ART Act 2022, and a notification has been issued in March 2022. Basically, why do we require this ART Act is because we need to regulate and we need to supervise the ART clinics, because a lot of miscreants can take advantage of this particular process in a very different way. Now you know that ART clinics are now available in this 2-tier, 3-tier cities as well. And everywhere you do not have ethical practices. So they have the access to excellent technology, but they can use it for their own selfish needs and motives. So there have been multiple instances where people have come to ART infertility clinics to say that we want only a male child. We want IVF, but only for a male child. So that's just one small aspect of how this important thing can be misutilized. So that's just one thing. So we need to regulate and we need to supervise these ART clinics, and not just that, the assisted reproductive technology as a whole, ensuring safe practice, ethical practice, and regulating the supervision of research and development in the field of ART. So they have defined what ART is. They have defined what is ART bank, what is commissioning couple. So these 2-3 definitions, if you just write down, they will have an idea that okay, this girl has read the ART Act. So basically, bank means an organization which will be responsible for collection of the gametes, the storage of the gametes, and the embryos, and supply of the gametes to the ART clinics or their parents. Even that has to be very specifically organized. Anybody who's having a cryopreservation or an embryo preservation cannot use that embryo for donation. Okay, even if it is being used in that particular way, it has to go through a proper channel. Otherwise, you know how difficult adoption laws are in our country. In the same way, it becomes, this is like adoption only, right? You're donating it, the other party is taking it. So it's at a very incipient stage. The level of cellular gamete level is starting. So you have to be very, very specific there as well. If adoption becomes very important, so does this become very important. So if you start commercializing this process over here, it will go into very, very bad hands, right? So you have to have a law there. Then commissioning couple means the infertile married couple who approach an assisted reproductive technology clinic for obtaining their services. So that's a commissioning couple. They are giving you money to get ART services out of you. So first of all ART clinics, all ART banks have to be duly registered under this act. Okay, an application for registration shall be made by the ART clinics accompanied by the application fee so and so. If you remember this, it's fine. If you don't remember, it's also okay. Every clinic or bank which is conducting ART, okay, within a period of 60 days from the date of establishment should apply for registration. That's very, very important. Unless and until this is registered, please, this does not have any say in our country. Renewal is also very, very important. You have to renew every 5 years. That becomes very important. Every time you're renewing, this paperwork gets scrutinized all over again. No clinics or banks shall be registered under this act unless the appropriate authority is satisfied that such clinics and banks are in a position to provide such facilities. That's very, very important. So there'll be a proper, process of scrutinizing, seeing what all is going on there, what not is going on there, and a lot of other things are being seen. So these are the things which have been, utilized to make, things organized in a way so that you're able to get the ethical practices out of them rather than commercialization of a very, very wrong chain of events. Okay. Now, if it's a 5-mark answer, this and this is sufficient. Okay. If it's more than that, I'll be giving you a little more material to it. When I'll finally upload the PPT, I'll add 1 or 2 slides more so that just in case it comes over a bigger answer, you will be able to write down at least something.